Previously on Ballz.
How do you start a conversation with someone and use the words Robin van Persie? How do you do that?
I can think of many ways.
Thought you were a Liverpool supporter anyway, Mr. Ackermann.
Liverpool?
Yeah.
Don't be ridiculous.
Be careful there, sir.
Sorry, yes, you also support Premier League sides.
Excuse you.
Yes, I do. I also support Premier League sides. Correct.
Teams that play in Europe, yes, that's
here we
right.
go.
Correct.
Let me guess. Man United, sir?
Well,
Correct.
he just rammed Robin van Persie down my throat. So, I mean, what?
See, it's hard.
Sorry, I'm sorry, HD, but that is absolutely. I mean, if when you moved from the Cobras to the Dolphins, back to the Cobras to the Warriors to the Dolphins to the Cobras, and then up to Gauteng, and then back to the Cobras.
Yes.
You didn't go and score 50 or 100 in the first game or second game after you left your old province.
Well, it's like when you went from Capital to 5 to this one to that one. You also didn't produce a great show your first time.
No, well, I never produced a great show. That's the thing. Out of respect for the previous station, I decided just keep it lame.
Well, I must admit that when I saw him in a Manchester United shirt, I thought, this doesn't look right. But the 4 goals have definitely eased down somewhat.
I'm just glad Podolski's finally found the net. Gee.
Is that his girlfriend's name, Annette?
Yeah, I think I was getting to wonder whether that's the only thing you'd find is a girlfriend called Annette. Anyway, all systems have been resumed, and yeah, the teams that are supposed to be there are there now. So it's going to be an interesting.
Whatever. It's only been 3 games.
When do
Let's
we play?
just calm down.
When do we play United?
Let's just.
Well, no, I don't know.
I'll check for you.
That'll be a big game. Liverpool,
I'm not Liverpool.
No, I'm saying Liverpool play twice a year. They play against United at home and they play against United away. Then they don't try for the rest of the year.
Yeah. All right. Listen, let's not talk soccer. Let's talk cricket. First of all, how's it going? I believe you're renovating, adding on more extensions to the house. Have you taken over the whole of Kloof yet?
The cricket side are winning me a fortune.
And yeah.
No, we just trying to put on another room or something to that. I've been kicked out the main bedroom, so I've got to find somewhere to sleep.
Why, Mr. Ackermann? Why are you adding on another room, if we may ask?
No, there's none of that news just yet, Darren. I can assure you, we're just trying to get it done before that does happen.
Okay, so there we have it officially here on Ballz. HD is trying. They are.
But we've discovered that wind pollination doesn't work either.
Yeah, you got to be home sometimes now and again.
You got to be at home.
Yeah, watch out down in that part of the world, eh? Red hair, immediately go and chat to John Smith. although you're safe now because he's over in the UK. So.
Or Sean Pollard.
Oh, that's okay.
Polly, no.
Man.
Don't worry about Polly. I think he's fine. All right. Where were we? Okay, so 2-1 down in the series now after going one up in the competition.
Yeah.
How do you? Obviously, they will now definitely, despite whatever happens in the last game, they will finish number 1 in the world after this, and they will stay there, much to our chagrin, until January apparently.
Well, you've got to give them something to smile about.
Yeah, I
so
suppose.
It's okay. Look, I mean, I must be honest, Darren. I think everyone's just a little bit disappointed with the way the last 2 one-day internationals have gone. But in their defence, it's been a long tour. They've been away from home a long time. Gary Kirsten has stated from the outset that he is trying different combinations. He's putting people in positions where he feels that they can bat at any time and be successful at any time in different positions. But so with the World Cup in mind, because it seems that it doesn't matter to the South African public whether you win 100 games in a row. You've got to win the World Cup. Yeah. So if he doesn't win the World Cup, then we can jump up and down.
Absolutely. I had that feeling yesterday watching, going, Test series you remember, and I mean the one that we won against them. And I'm not. This is not me being a one-eyed South African, but you remember Test series. But I mean, like for instance, the 438 game. Do you remember what the final result was in that series?
That's a good point. We won at 3-2, didn't we?
You had to think about it, though, didn't you? It doesn't.
No, there's so much one-day cricket. The Test series. What is nice though is it seems that people are realizing that Test cricket is far from dead and very much alive.
Yeah.
And I mean the Test series was a wonderful advertisement for for cricket, and the South African side played exceptionally well. But they've been playing well for some time. I mean, they've now beaten England twice in England in the last 2 series. They've beaten Australia in Australia, so now in November they go to Australia again. If they can beat them there, and Australia are ripe for the picking, then you can't argue. They deserve to be the number 1 side in the world.
Yeah, Australia are going to come hard at us, though. I mean, they're going to be full of tongue.
Yeah, they will. But the thing is we now have the tide's changed a little bit. We're the experienced side with quite a number of champions in our team, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
They're a side that is struggling and under pressure, and there's a coach. They got Mickey Arthur there. We've got to have a South African in every team somewhere. So Mickey Arthur will be there, and he'll probably have a bit of inside info on the South African side. But the Australians they're under pressure against us. They really are. There's very few players within that side that I can see troubling South Africa. The only thing they've got in their favour is they're playing at home.
Yeah. I think, what was the term used by Ackermann a little earlier on today, our bronze medal winner at the Paralympics that we spoke to earlier? He said previously he went to the pool and some of the other swimmers were the ones he feared. Now he arrived there and he was the fear. I think that was pretty appropriately, and I think South African cricket might be in that position as well.
In Test cricket, without a doubt. In one-day cricket, T20s, we still try to find our feet. But again, like is that management under Gary from the outset, they're giving other guys opportunities to find if they can play at that level, and I'm sure by the end of the series he'll have a few questions answered. But also, we're not making excuses for them. As I said earlier, they've been away for a long time. The idea was to go there and win the Test series. They did that convincingly, and you probably find getting yourself up for a one-day series when there's rain all around is quite tough.
Yeah. How do you personally see how that one-day side's shaping? Because it's definitely still being shaped, as you said. It's not and there never really is a settled one-day side. I mean, we see changes coming in. They rest guys. They have to rest guys, and I see Mornay. Was Mornay given a rest, by the way, or is there something else there?
No, he was definitely given a rest. It's been, what is it, 2 months he's been playing non-stop cricket. So Dale had a little bit of a neck injury. Dale sat out the first one when Mornay and Mornay played, and now Mornay sits out. We know that Jacques-Henri Cullis wasn't available. He's quite a difficult guy to replace.
Yeah.
So the thing is they've been rested. They've got such a busy summer ahead of them. I mean, they got the World Cup in September, then they got Australia in November, New Zealand in December, and Pakistan in sort of February, March. So it's a real tough few months that lie ahead of them. And Gary's got to make sure that everyone is playing at their optimum during those series.
Just explain, just give me, because you've been down in that part of the world. Was there a special going on in Edgemead at some stage a few years ago when they suddenly hauled all these guys over? Where did Dernbach come from now?
Jade Dernbach, he was a St. John's boy, believe it or not.
Oh, is he a Joburg boy?
Yeah, he's a Joburg. I'm not so sure, though, that the St. John's principal would be happy with what's happening on his arms, though. But anyway.
Well, he can play a bit.
Yeah, he's got a brilliant slower ball. But, he's done well for them. He's aggressive. He actually went there when he was about 15, 16, went across to England and plays for Surrey over there. He's been a consistent performer for them, and has been in and out of their one-day side. So they needed some freshness to their side. They brought him in, and he's done very well.
Yeah, no, he looks like one that'll be around there for a while. Simon, do you have anything for
I
this?
just wanted to ask H, with this new ranking system and how it's done, where it's reevaluated after every ODI, do you think that's right?
Simon, I must be honest, I actually have no idea how. It's worse than Duckworth Lewis. I don't have a clue what's happening. The thing is no, I don't think it's right. I think you should be ranked on a series rather than by game, if that makes any in one day specifically. But I really am a novice when it comes to how many points you get for beating who and where you're playing them. I'm not too phased that we're not number one in the world in ODIs, to be honest.
Does anyone care? Because you always, it still comes down to India are the world champions. They will be until the next World Cup. And there is no World Championship of Test cricket, so there's much more. And the players would also, put much more value in being number one in Test cricket, as you said up front. So does anyone really care if you're number one in ODI cricket or not?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there was a lot made of the Test series. England, when we arrived there, was saying that they're the best, and it's going to be difficult for South Africa to come. South Africa overcame all of that, played brilliant cricket, and are now number one. And the English media are sort of climbing on now the number one, the one-day series, which is understandable because their cricketers are
positives.
Yeah, they've been poor. They've been poor. I mean, that's also an advantage that South Africa have had going over there. Normally you go there and everyone is on your back. This time, South Africa have gone there under the radar. There's been the Olympics. When the Olympics stopped, then Peterson, he had his fallout with Strauss and Cook and everyone, and so they've sort of just flown under the radar, done their business, and I'm probably eager to get on a plane and come home.
Hey, sorry, I know Johnny wants to ask a question, but I know we spoke about...
Johnny wants to go look at HT's Wikipedia and then quote something from it.
I'll help you with the link now, Johnny.
Thanks.
But I know we spoke about moulding aside, but how much are we missing Jacques Kallis right now?
In the T20 version of the game, I play a part in the World Cup in Sri Lanka, but in the ODIs he is a big player because he can do what Jonathan Trott can do for England. He knows how to judge a chase, he knows how to set up an innings, and that's where we miss him. The younger guys in the team, and I'm talking about the Faf du Plessis, the Dean Elgers, JP Duman, he's played a lot of one-day internationals, but they just look as though at the moment they're not quite sure how to go about constructing an innings, assessing the conditions, and giving the bowlers something to bowl at. I mean, we've been well short in both the matches we've lost as far as the runs required. And the thing that concerns me is that it looks as though we went out there with the idea to get 300, and on those surfaces 300 was far too much. And when you look at something too high, you end up getting bowled out for too little, and that's what's happened on both occasions. So we just need a little bit of responsibility taken by the players. And replacing Jacques Kallis, well, it's something that we're going to have to face in the future. But let's hope I'm not alive to see it.
Yeah, exactly. There's the difference right there between Jacques Kallis and Salman Butt.
Yes.
Kallis knows how to judge a chase. Salman Butt knows how to chase a judge.
Yeah. H, I just wanted to ask you your impressions on KP. We were chatting about it on the weekend. He doesn't do impressions.
Do you
think he'll ever... Can we hear an impersonation?
Simon does the impressions, yeah.
Do you really think that he'll ever come back again and play for England?
John, it'll be very sad if he doesn't, and I say that because there's no doubt that he is a serious batsman, and cricket is part of the entertainment industry, and there's no doubt about it that he actually entertains. The thing that's concerned me a little bit is that, and I'll probably get shut down for this, but I think Kevin Pietersen's had to shoulder all the blame, and the thing that worries me is that Strauss and Flower are referred to as management, and management are meant to manage players. You can't have 11 players who are all the same personality. You're going to have some difficult guys, and to not be able to manage your best player and just leave him out of a side or a test match, which proved to be a vital one, I find that difficult to swallow. So they're going to have to sort it out, but they've also got to shoulder some of the blame.
Yeah, I was with Jacques Rudolph at Stone Cradle on Saturday evening, the big Johnny Clegg concert, and I was like itching to say, so come on, what was he saying? What was he tweeting? But I restrained myself.
Yeah, I don't put him in that position.
Yeah. All right, H, look at... Yeah? Sorry, just carry on.
No, that with regard to the text messages and things like that, I really didn't know it was an offence to send text messages to mates, sort of. But I suppose when you're referring to the captain as a box, then that doesn't really go down.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we better wrap it up there. This is one of the scariest moments in life when your phone rings and you're getting a call from the Carte Blanche producer.
What have you done?
It's one of the things in life you don't want to experience.
Good luck.
Thanks, H. I'll need it. Thanks a lot for chatting to us, H. All the best. Send love to the family, and good luck with the renovations. Are you doing them yourselves, or have you brought in the help?
I can't change a light bulb, so I've had to bring in help. But yeah, likewise to you and your family, and we'll chat soon, guys.
All right,
Thanks very much,
buddy.
H.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, George.
Cheers.
HD Ackermann joining us on Ballz Radio.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays live on Ballz.co.za. Ballz.co.za.